Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from one of our viewers, Joanne Fortier, 1177. Thanks for the suggestion. You asked, why do sweets sometimes give you a sore throat? If you've ever enjoyed a handful of candies or a slice of cake, and then felt that strange, scratchy, dry, or slightly irritated sensation afterward, you're definitely not alone. It's not quite like having a cold, but it's uncomfortable enough to make you wonder if sugar just turned against you. So, what's really happening inside your throat when dessert doesn't feel so sweet? Stick around as we break down the science, the history, and the surprising reasons behind that post-sugar soreness right here on History of Simple Things. Humans have been consuming sweet foods for thousands of years. In ancient times, sweetness mostly came from honey, which was prized by civilizations like the ancient Egyptians and Greeks. Refined sugar as we know it today became more widespread after sugarcane cultivation expanded in places like India and later spread through trade routes into Europe. By the 18th and 19th centuries, sugar had transformed from a luxury to an everyday ingredient, especially after industrial processing made it cheaper and more accessible. With that shift came candies, syrups, pastries, and eventually the ultra-sweet, mass-produced treats we know today. Interestingly, historical records don't show people commonly complaining about sore throats from sweets. That's likely because modern processed candies often contain more than just sugar. They include artificial flavorings, acids, preservatives, and colorings that can irritate sensitive tissues. Our modern sweet tooth comes with a modern ingredient list. One of the simplest explanations for a sore throat after sweets is dryness. Sugar is hygroscopic, meaning it attracts water. When you eat very sugary foods, especially sticky or hard candies, they can temporarily pull moisture from your mouth and throat surfaces. Saliva normally keeps your mouth and throat moist and comfortable. It also protects tissues from irritation, but when sugar lingers, like with caramel, toffee, or chewy candy, it can reduce that protective moisture layer. Less moisture means more friction when you swallow, talk, or breathe. That friction can make your throat feel scratchy. On top of that, sugary foods can increase thirst. If you're not drinking water alongside them, your throat may simply become dry, and dryness alone can mimic the early feeling of a sore throat. Many sweets aren't just sweet, they're acidic. Think sour candies, gummies coated in citric acid, or fizzy sweets. Citric acid and malic acid are commonly added to enhance flavor. These acids can irritate the delicate lining of the mouth and throat, especially if consumed in large amounts. The lining of your throat is made of soft mucosal tissue. While it's built to handle food and drinks, highly acidic substances can temporarily irritate it. This irritation may cause a mild burning sensation or inflammation, which feels like soreness. Even some sweet beverages, like sodas and fruit-flavored drinks, combine high sugar with acid. That double effect can increase the chance of throat discomfort, especially if you sip slowly over a long period. There's also the issue of inflammation. Consuming large amounts of sugar in a short time can trigger inflammatory responses in the body. While this doesn't mean sugar directly causes infection, it can contribute to temporary systemic inflammation. When inflammation increases, tissues may become more sensitive. If your throat tissues are already slightly irritated, maybe from dry air, allergies, or talking a lot, sugar may amplify that sensitivity. It's not the sole cause, but it can act like fuel added to a small spark. Research shows that high sugar intake can increase certain inflammatory markers in the body. For most people, Occasional sweets won't cause noticeable problems, but if you're sensitive or already dealing with minor irritation, the effect can be more noticeable. Here's another surprising possibility: acid reflux. Sugary foods, especially when eaten in large amounts, can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that keeps stomach acid where it belongs. When that muscle relaxes too much, acid can move upward into the esophagus and even reach the throat. This condition, sometimes called laryngopharyngeal reflux, doesn't always cause heartburn. Instead, it may cause throat soreness, hoarseness, or a lump in the throat sensation. So if sweets consistently leave your throat feeling irritated, especially when eaten at night, mild reflux could be part of the explanation. Sugar feeds bacteria in your mouth. When bacteria break down sugar, they produce acids. These acids are mostly known for causing tooth decay, but they can also contribute to changes in your oral environment. If you consume a lot of sweets and don't rinse or brush afterward, bacterial activity increases. While this primarily affects teeth, it can also create a slightly acidic environment in the mouth that may contribute to mild irritation over time. Again, this doesn't mean candy equals infection, but it does mean oral hygiene plays a role in how your throat feels afterward. It's important to separate temporary irritation from real illness. A mild, scratchy feeling that fades after drinking water is usually harmless. But if your throat pain is severe, persistent, or accompanied by fever, swollen glands, or difficulty swallowing, it's unlikely that sweets are the main cause. Infections like viral colds or strep throat involve immune responses and pathogens, not sugar. Sweets may feel worse on an already sore throat, but they're not the root cause of those illnesses. So, should you stop eating sweets? Not necessarily. For most people, sweets are safe in moderation. If you notice throat irritation, try simple adjustments. Drink water alongside sugary foods, avoid highly acidic candies, and maintain good oral hygiene. If you're prone to reflux, consider limiting large portions of sweets, especially before bedtime. In the end, sweets don't secretly attack your throat, but under the right conditions, dryness, acidity, inflammation, or sensitivity, they can leave you feeling less than sweet. And sometimes, all your throat really needs after dessert is a glass of water. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.